What's up, guys? I'm back again. Now this video is long overdue. I should have done this a long time ago. But with the future of the DCEU, well, I don't know what's going on, but I do know that we are getting a Matt Reeves trilogy, and I am super excited about that to explore the future lore of Batman. I hopefully we'll get the rest of the Bat family because that's a very essential key part of Bruce Wayne that's missing throughout these live action adaptations that they just don't seem to care about, or that they're just brushing under the rug like they don't care at all. But with the film that came out earlier this year, The Batman with Robert Pattinson, which was probably one of my favorite Batman films, one of my favorite comic book films, and also one of my favorite films of this year, I wanted to discuss 5 villains I want to see in future films of Matt Reeves' trilogy. Starting with number five, I'm going to go with Hugo Strange. Hugo Strange is a mad scientist who's basically just obsessed with Batman, Bruce Wayne, Batman, and the tone of Matt Reeves' films feels a lot like the Arkham series. If any of you have ever played any of the Arkham games, it feels like that. The city is even just how the city looks and how corrupt the city is. It feels just like a mixture of the Arkham games with the Nolan trilogy. So using Hugo, I mean using Doctor Hugo Strange as a catalyst to Batman, who's obsessed with finding out the identity of Batman. It's the early years of Batman. It's a perfect opportunity to use this. I think a good adaptation. I think he would do dividends to Matt Reeves' Batman trilogy, and finding out, being more obsessed, Bruce Wayne using seeing Bruce Wayne fight for his life instead of Batman is a different take that I think a lot of fans would be in interested in seeing, and I think it would be really cool to see a mad scientist like Hugo Strange try to physically and mentally break down someone like Bruce Wayne. But yes, that's my number five. Number four, I'm going with Clayface, a very underrated villain in my opinion in the Batman Rogues gallery. He does not get enough credit. But Bruce Wayne, Clayface was first seen in the animated series, the Batman animated series. He's created solely for that, and then I believe they put him in the comics. Same thing for Harley Quinn. But Clayface is a very underrated Batman villain that doesn't get a lot of enough love and appreciation, which I really love. I think that they should do my take on Clayface would be use the. There's many different versions of Clayface you can use, but I would use the actor version, and the story I would tell would be, just have them do, and he's an out of work actor, of course, and his movies have been taken, and no one wants to hire him anymore for any kind of work. And when he does get work, it's like subtle parts. Like he's usually like a guest, uh, has like a guest spot in a TV show or anything. He's not really doing any movies anymore. And I think having Gotham do like an adaptation of Bruce Wayne's life in a documentary or a biopic of their version of Bruce Wayne's family, a casting call and this is his opportunity to get his like foot back in the door and prove to everyone in Gotham and everyone else that he's still got it. He's still one of the best actors. So he uses his powers to shapeshift and impersonate Bruce Wayne. So he ends up stalking. Uh, Bruce Wayne's father. So he ends up stalking and just harassing Bruce Wayne. And this would be a very great way to mentally get inside of Bruce's head. And I think that's the best way to tackle a villain like Clayface. And when it comes to characters like Batman, it's not all physical, it's usually mental. So yes, that's my number four. Number three, I would have to go with Scarecrow. Scarecrow, another very underrated Batman villain. He was used as a main. He was more of a side villain in the Nolan films, and he was never really the forefront. In the first film, it kind of seemed like it, but the main antagonist was Ra's al Ghul, and he was very. It seemed like they were going somewhere in Batman Arkham Knight, I believe. I think they could have done more with that, but it utilizing him as a main villain that can psychologically just scare the living piss out of you, and showing people their worst fears, that's truly frightening. If you don't believe me, I think everyone should go watch Batman the Animated Series. There's actually an episode where everyone finds out the identities of the Bat family, and all of them are arrested and everything like that. But it turns out it was a scare toxin that he induced on Barbara. So seeing that being turned into something, into Matt Reeves trilogy, would be perfect, and I think he would fit Matt Reeves trilogy really well. You can do them like the animated series, or just the the video games, and I think you'll be perfectly fine. But number two, going on to the next one, number two, I have the Court of Owls. The Court of Owls is probably one of the only good things to come out of the New 52, which a lot of people hate, and I completely understand why. But the Court of Owls is like a underground, I guess I wouldn't really say gang, an underground like organization that's been lurking within Gotham for, I guess, centuries or decades. I'm not too sure which one, but you can, and they have a history. They actually have a history with Dick Grayson, who was the first Robin, and you can kind of merge that in with Dick Grayson and him becoming Robin. I think that'd be a great idea to have, you know, them try to persuade Dick to join them. Maybe one of the one of the people at Court of Owls is his grandfather. Like in the comics, you could do it like that, or his uncle, or something like that. But it turns out that they have something to do with his parents' death, and I think that would be a really good story to see, because I don't know if they were hinted, if Matt Reeves has hinted at it, but it'd be really cool to see them in live action. And finally, for my number one of villains I want to see in Matt Reeves' Batman trilogy, and that is the very popular Mr. Freeze. Mr. Freeze is probably one of his best villains, and he has a very tragic and sympathetic backstory that I think a lot of people would be saddened and heartbroken by. Go check out the animated series of the original of Batman just to see exactly what I'm talking about. Even Batman Beyond did an excellent job at bringing him back and showing his heartbreak and his loss of his wife, and even even bad guys can have, not all bad guys are heartless, and the animated series definitely does prove that. And or you can go the Arkham series route, which was also really good adaptation of Mr. Freeze. But but those two, whichever route you go, is going to be perfectly fine. But yeah, that is my top five list of villains I want to see in Matt Reeves' Batman trilogy. Is there any I missed? Is there any that should have been on you guys' list? And if before you say what about the Joker? I'm tired of seeing Joker give his other villains some time to shine. But let me know what you guys think of this list. What would your list be? Leave in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.